My name is Rubiks Cubes. Today we're going to be talking about how I got into cubing. And while we solve all of my puzzles except for my second, okay, this is my 4x4 that I use a lot. This one is the first 4x4 that I ever had, and it's pretty terrible compared to what I use. This compared to this is what I got like all my best times on, like what I get all my fastest times on. This is what got me in, this is what got me into 4x4 and doing the bigger puzzles. Like this is my first 4x4. But the middle layers, you see how I turn this middle layer like this and this one like this? But if I turn it like this, it doesn't turn. And if you force it to turn, it'll actually break the inside mechanism. And I had to take it all apart and fix it. It was terrible. And that's when I bought a new 4x4. So I guess we're gonna be talking about how I got into cubing while I solve all my puzzles. Let's give them all. So how I got into cubing? Let's see. Where should we start? I'm gonna keep it down. Okay. How I got into cubing? How should I start? Well, let's see. If we want to really get into how I started cubing, okay, one day when I was about 8 or 9, like a long time ago, my grandpa took me to Barnes and Noble, and there's 2 puzzles scrambled for the last third one. And I really wanted a Rubik's Cube. He bought me it, and I scrambled it while we were still at Barnes and Noble's. Because, Barnes and Noble, you can get coffee there and sit down. So I opened it there. He said it'd be okay, and I scrambled it, and I didn't know how to solve it. So there's the last puzzle solved, scrambled. So, and then here, just about a month or two ago, I went over to my friend's. She had a Rubik's Cube just sitting on the table, like all scrambled up. And then I sat there. I literally sat there for about 6 hours, turning and twisting. It took me about an hour to solve it, but then I scrambled it. I kept scrambling it up until I memorized how to solve it. So I guess let's start with the Rubik's brand 3x3. So once I had memorized how to solve the Rubik's Cube, then I went home and I told my mom, "Hey mom, I know how to solve Rubik's Cube," and she didn't believe me. So what I did was I asked her, "Okay, mom, could we go to the store, and I'll buy myself a Rubik's Cube?" And she said, "If you have the money, you can go buy it if you want." So I went and I bought myself a Rubik's Cube. I come back, I scramble it, and then 5 minutes later, I tell her, "Hey mom, look, I scrambled it. Remember when I scrambled it?" And she says, "Yeah." And then I come back and it's solved. And that's when I started getting into bigger and better puzzles. Like here is my speed cube and my sticker speed cube. We'll get more into that when I'm solving that. I think we're gonna solve the 4x4. And no, we'll save the 4x4 for last. But where was I? So that's when I started getting into bigger puzzles. And in 2 days, I'm gonna be making a video on the mini Shengshao 5x5, which is a 5x5, but it's the size. Okay, see how this 4x4 is smaller than this 3x3 by like a lot. We get it all lined up. It's like that much bigger, like that much bigger. I don't know. It's about half a cube bigger, so quite a bit bigger. But the 5x5, it'd be a lot bigger than the 3x3. It'd be out bigger than the 4x4, about that much, and that much that way. So if we just get this lined up with the corner, it's about that much bigger. Right there. Right there. So it's about the 3x3 is about that big with cube that off. The 5x5 would usually be a lot bigger. The 5x5 is going to be the same size as this because it's mini version. So back to solving. So where was I? Okay. So then oh, future plans for cubing. I would like to own a big puzzle, like a 13 by 13, and maybe start off with like a 10 by 10. Maybe go on to 7 by 7 next. I don't know. I'm probably gonna get a 6 by 6 before I go into 7 by 7. Hopefully by the time I get into higher order puzzles, they'll have a 12 by 12. I don't think they have a 12 by 12. It goes to 11 by 11, 13 by 13, 17 by 17, and then 28 by 28. They made a prototype version of that. Anyways, here's the Rubiks brand puzzle. Here's the Rubiks brand 3x3 solved. Let's go into the Cyclone Boys Speed Cube. Okay, so about this cube, this is my first speed cube, and I love it, but I'm kind of colorblind, so on this cube, the red and the orange to me look super similar. So this is red and this is orange, but they look super similar. So that helps. I mean, that messes me up on solve. See how I had to like turn it and do this? Because I can't really see the colors. So like originally I used to like stickerless cubes, but I like sticker cubes a lot more now. And one good thing about this puzzle is the turning. Like, oh my gosh, it's smooth but crunchy at the same time. Like, it sounds super crunchy, but it's actually really smooth, which is what I really like. So, if you want, by the way, if you want to know how to solve a 3x3, I suggest going to Surge's B on YouTube. Go look up Surge's B how to solve a Rubik's cube, how to solve a 3x3 Rubik's cube. And he'll give you a really easy version on how to solve a Rubik's cube. But Noah Richardson is also good too. He they both have different methods to solving one. And actually, I solved this one with Surge's B's method, and I solved this one with Noah Richardson's method, and that's how. And Noah Richardson also was the one who taught me how to solve 4x4. And I know I said I taught myself how to solve a Rubik's cube, but like eventually. I feel stupid. Feel stupid. Oh, by the way, if you want to buy any of my puzzles, except for the Rubiks brand 3x3, there will be links in the description for where I got them all. Except for the Rubiks brand 3x3, because you can find those in Walmart. But what happened to the commentary? Like, why am I not talking at all? Because I suck at being a YouTuber? Probably. Let's see. But hey, at least I can solve a Rubik's Cube. I got a comment on one of my videos it was me solving the 4x4 for the first time, and they person who commented was like, "Oh my god, that looks like the hardest puzzle ever," and I just looked at that comment for like ever, like realized that, oh yeah, like people don't usually solve stuff like this like I do, and it really put it in the factor that, oh my god, yes, I take forever on the 4x4. Let's see, how about this? Um, Mainly because because you can't see any pieces that I need. Oh, what about, does this one go with this one? No. Does this one go with this one? No. Oh my god. See how long it takes me so long just to find any pieces. So I swear it takes me the reason why it takes me so long to solve Rubiks Cube is just because I suck at like finding pieces. Oh my gosh. Do these two? Oh, okay. We do that. Oh my gosh, this is the worst solve ever. My YJ, the video that I'm of my first solving of the 4x4 Rubik's Cube was so fast, so much faster than this, and it's because I was actually like paying attention to what I was doing a little bit. But once I get all like, let's see, here in a minute. Once I just do this real quick. Oh my gosh, wait, it'll be a little bit longer because I didn't see that. Put that out the way. This down. Sorry if I don't like not talking about anything. I didn't think it'd take this long because originally I was only gonna solve the 4x4, but now I decided to solve all my puzzles. Not all my puzzles, because I have a 2x2 downstairs, but I don't know where it is. So, and now all the edges are solved. So now it'll go a lot quicker. Watch me say it'll go a lot quicker, and then it like not go fast at all. Let's see, let's do yes, and then that, yes, that, this. I just realized that all I'm saying right now is do this, then that. Oh, maybe if we do this, and then that, well, then this will happen if we do this. Like I'm not explaining anything that I'm doing. Let's see. I'm still not talking. Why? Because usually when you cube, you don't usually talk. Because usually when you're a speed cuber like I am, you try to get your fastest time, even if you're not very fast. Practice helps. Then you usually don't talk because you're so focused in what you're doing. See if I can do the rest of this just on camera. Oh, well, there we go. There's that solved. So I guess this is the end of this video. Now you know how I got into cubing, and the rest of that was pretty trash. Bye.